game, man.
Yella, vinyl fella, yeah, I'm on the beat, but you know I murder our lawless. Come with the rawless like Nobu. Y'all don't want the beat.
Oh shit.
That's a big old scoop.
Yo guys, how are you doing? Firstly, hopefully you can hear me. I've come out so I can do a bit of a talk about training, and there's just flipping fireworks popping off. Another thing, I can't see shit. I can't see where I'm walking because of this light. It's just blinding everything that's in front of me. So yeah, excuse that. Yeah, firstly, if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you for watching the leg day training. If you have not already, please like, please subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know what I need to improve within my training to grow these little legs. Okay, so what I really wanted to talk about is I just wanted to go in on the three main things that I believe contribute to the most muscle growth possible. The three main things within your training that you can do. I'm probably not going to be looking at the camera because I really cannot see where I'm going. Let's get into it. Let's go with thing number one, which I think is probably the most obvious thing, which is your training intensity. Now, training intensity is obviously going to be with the main driver as to whether you build the muscle that you want to build and, of course, achieve the level of physique that you want to achieve. You will see people in the gym, you know, that potentially, by the way, I'm on the edge of a cliff here. Obviously, you can't see that, but yeah, like we all know those people in the gym that will talk about the fact they're bulking now or they're cutting now or whatever it is they're doing, right? And they might have it all right with their nutrition. They might well do. I'm all over the place here. They might well do have it all in place with their nutrition. But if they train like an absolute pussy, or if you train like an absolute pussy, then you're not going to grow the muscle you want. And it is as simple as that. Even if you had horrid nutrition, but you trained like an absolute beast, then you would grow muscle. You would put on size. And that's just a fact. Now, is your physique going to look the way you want it to look if you eat like shit and build as much muscle as possible? Probably not, because you're going to be watery, you're going to be fat, etc. So the first thing you need to be looking at when it comes to whether you do or do not have the level of physique you want is how hard you're training. Are you training hard enough, and are you demanding growth from your body? Because that's really how you have to think about this, is you have to demand growth in regards to how hard you train if you want to grow as much muscle as possible. Sorry, the reason I'm turning this around is obviously there's a light on here, so it's actually showing me my path. So training intensity is thing number one. Thing number two is going to be the control you have over the weights that you use. Are you in control of the weights, or are the weights in control of you? Now, the reason this is really important is because I always used to love, and still do love, training with a good tempo good control of the weight, like, you know, following a 2-second eccentric, a slight pause in the bottom, a powerful concentric, etc. You know, there's times where maybe I'll extend the length of the eccentric, you know, just to make sure I'm really in control of the weight and really making sure that I'm connecting with the muscle, which we'll get onto in a minute. But having control of the weights you're using is so important. If you're lifting a weight and you cannot physically be in control of that weight, then you are that weight's bitch. You are the bitch to that weight. Meaning you're probably not ready to really use it yet. Now, the way you know you're ready to make a progression in the gym, e.g. increase the amount of resistance or weight you're using, is once you've made that weight your bitch. That's the only time you're able to increase the weight, if you've made that weight your bitch. Now, the reason having control over your weights is so important is because it's a skill to have control of the weight. Do you remember when you first started weight training and you first did like a dumbbell press? Do you remember how shaky that was? You're like this, right? You're shaking like a shitting dog. You are not in control of the weight, so you're probably not ready to increase the weight. Only until you've mastered that weight and you've made that weight your bitch are you now ready to increase the weight. And it remains the same no matter how deep you are into your training career. You have to get to that point where you have control of the weights, you can hit the rep range comfortably, and then you're ready to increase. You know, and then when you increase the weight, that's obviously when you can increase the stimulus and the load you're putting on the muscle. And when you do that, you obviously stimulate some more muscle growth, hopefully. So obviously both of these things tie in together. The training intensity that you hit your sessions with is going to determine the level of physique you have. And obviously the control you have over the weights you use is going to directly impact the intensity that you're able to train with. So make sure you've got control of your weights, make sure you're training fucking hard. And then the final thing, can't see my hand, thing number 3 is mind to muscle connection. Prioritizing mind to muscle connection does not make you a science-based lifter. However, I think it is something that is extremely important when it comes to natural bodybuilding, particularly. Because if you can go through the process of pulling your weights down by 10% or 20% and you really focus on building that connection to the muscle. For example, my chest has always been a weak area. It still is, to be completely honest, so it still needs work. But something that I did over the past couple of years to build it up is actually strip the weights back and refocus my training so I could actually connect and feel my chest work when I'm doing chest exercises, right? It sounds obvious, doesn't it? When you're doing a back exercise, you want to feel your back work, not your biceps or your forearms. I mean, it sounds obvious saying it out loud, right? But it's actually something you probably potentially don't think about until you watch this video right now. So seriously, if you want to grow as much muscle as possible, obviously we have to train freaking hard. Obviously we have to be in control of the weights we're using, and we have to make sure that we can train hard with the weights that we've got on our hands. And the final thing is if you can connect better with the muscle that you're trying to target, you're going to use it more effectively, you're going to fatigue it more effectively, and that is inevitably going to lead to more muscle growth. All right, I don't know why I've made the executive decision to walk again, but we're going to go for it. So those are the 3 main things you have to focus on if you're trying to grow as much muscle as possible. If you watched my previous video, how I would maximize muscle growth in a 2-year time frame, then apply those lessons and apply what you've learned watching this video. Now, these 3 main things are all things that I prioritize within my training, and that has what has allowed me to get to the level of physique that I've got, which, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've got the best physique in the world. I don't believe that at all. But, you know, I've managed to, you know, win some bodybuilding shows and win my pro card. So hopefully that speaks to a level of, you know, expertise and knowledge in the area. Now, these 3 things are also the main things that I share with my clients and I get my clients to focus on. And that's why we've been able to achieve within KIF coaching absolutely insane results year upon year upon year, which get better every single year. And it's down to these 3 main reasons really within training. So hopefully you found this video somewhat entertaining, useful, educational, and hopefully there's some things that you can implement from this video within your training, within your week, to maximize your muscle growth. If you'd like to go down a rabbit hole of watching my videos, click the video somewhere around my face. And if you have not already, please subscribe. I would massively appreciate your support. And yeah, let's grow this channel together. Let's grow your physique together. And like I said, implement my advice and you will do that.